Hey guys, and welcome back to episode 2 of Disagree to Agree, featuring...
You can't say hey guys, that's like, that's weak. That's like a...
Well, what do I say?
I don't know, but
hey,
I'm
what's up, cool guys?
No, what's up, people? No, come
what's
on,
up,
what's up, everybody? How you doing? Like, hey guys, we're YouTubers. Like, that's how that sounds. Although I know that you would naturally do that because you're very polite, but still.
Okay. All right.
This is the intro, though. I just want everybody to know that. So, let's try. Can we just not say hey guys?
Okay, you need to cut all this out because no one's going to want to listen to this in the beginning.
Why not?
You need to cut all of this.
No, this is literally...
This is boring content
this
right
is the point of this. We disagree on everything. This is exactly the point of this.
All right. Hey friends, welcome back to episode 2 of Disagree to Agree, starring TPJ and Erica.
Oh wow, that was very nice. Thank you for not calling me my government name. One of those little YouTube nerds was like, you said my real name, and they were like, what? That's his real name? Ugh. So yes, refer to me as TPJ. Shout out to all the ladies out there. I appreciate you all for like commenting. Every comment that I got, I got tons of reactions from everybody, male, female. Everybody was like, this is amazing. This is great. And we got a ton of people that are like, hey, I want to come on the show. So we're going to have guests. Eventually, there will be people stopping by and sitting on this couch. So shout out to Erica, who just goes by Erica now.
Just Erica, like Cher Madonna.
Yes. Oh, and...
You can't have a laugh break this early on.
Somebody just sent me a question to ask on the show, right? Okay, and it says...
Is it vulgar? What's the issue?
It's just somebody said, what's a great date to you and the fine white gal? So speaking of dates, we were gonna actually talk about first dates, right?
The subject of today is first dates.
All right, so before that, because I feel like we should do this every time, we should at least speak a little bit about how was your week? Good week?
I had a great week. I sold my car this week. Had that baby for about a decade. 2007 Ford Focus luxury vehicle. And yeah, so I got
pulling
that
up to
off
the
my
club,
hands.
stunting, ooh, hopping out clean.
You know you need a new car when you're starting to get embarrassed by it when you show up places. I wouldn't want to valet my car anywhere because I'm like, this is embarrassing, and like everything was falling apart. Like the car was decomposing in front of my very eyes.
And then now you riding around. Now you riding around clean, but we're not gonna tell people what kind of car you drive because you know these weirdos out here.
It's not that weird. It's a Jeep.
Why
I got a Jeep.
Okay, well, I
was
trying not to, okay, yeah, but
for all my off-roading adventures, you know how wild, carefree I am.
Well, hey, according to you, I've never known you to be that way, but you might be that way now. You keep saying I don't know you.
Maybe I am.
You keep saying I don't know you. So what version of you am I getting on this show then if I don't?
What do you mean? What version? This is me. This is the real me.
This is the
multifaceted person. As are you. As are all of us.
I don't know about all of us. There's a lot of one-dimensional people out here. There's a lot of one-dimensional ass people out here. You know who you are. You're offended by that statement. That's how you know you're one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Because all my people out there that's 3D will be like, oh, like I know you're not talking about me, so you just let that roll off. You let that roll off too. You didn't even look like.
So anyway, my week was good. It was a good week, and that was probably the highlight of the week. Nothing super eventful.
Yeah.
Although I did book a ticket to go to New Orleans over Halloween, which I'm very excited about.
That's gonna be very lit. I've only been to New Orleans once. Part of my family originated there.
Really?
Yeah, like my grandmother, she was born there, but she was like an orphan or something like that. Yeah, it was like I don't even know what the whole thing is. Her father was like a Frenchman or something, and her mother was like black or something, and they like gave the baby up for adoption, and my grandmother was born in New Orleans, and then it was like all this weird stuff. So yeah, I should actually talk to my uncle about that because like he is like one of those before Ancestry.com and all of that stuff was. By the way, this is not an Ancestry.com plug.
As if they would sponsor us.
I mean, why not? We're talking about dating. We're trying to help people create life.
All right. So anyway, so Ancestry.com, you're being sidetracked.
Yeah, shout out to Ancestry.com, but we're not sponsored by them. But my uncle was like one of the first people to be on that wave. Like, yo, I sent them my DNA. I found out where our family are. I found out where all these people are that we never met. And I was just like this teenage kid. So one time he was like, we're gonna fly the entire family. It was only like 15 of us to New Orleans. So we all went to New Orleans. And I was like 16, so I couldn't do anything. But it was a great city. I definitely want to go back as an adult. Definitely need to visit Mardi Gras. But yeah.
Cool.
That sounds like New Orleans on Halloween. That's going to be very, very lit.
Super excited. My friend lives there now. She lived in LA and she moved back to New Orleans. And she goes to a masquerade every year for Halloween. It's like a formal masquerade, which I've never been to one. And I'm super excited.
I'm very surprised.
You're always surprised.
I'm so shocked that you've never been to a masquerade, Erica.
How many people have been to masquerades? I don't know.
I'm sure there are a fair amount, especially in Los Angeles. It's a lot of weird shit happens here, so yeah. I mean, maybe.
So you're calling me weird?
I'm not saying it's weird. No, on Halloween, a masquerade is fine. But just like in the middle of summer, no. And I guarantee you that has happened at least a few times in Los Angeles.
I'm sure it has.
Exactly. So
and I'm ready for it. So I'm ready for the masquerade. So that was my week. How was your week?
So what are you gonna wear? Like what is it? Like what color? Like what colors do people wear to masquerades? What kind of outfits?
I really haven't gone outfit hunting yet, but I want to wear some type of extravagant gown for sure. Like something just jaw-dropping. Something that I'll take a photo.
It's like Phantom of the Opera type stuff, right? I mean, like.
I think so. I saw some photos. I don't know if they're going to be like huge, like billowing dresses, but definitely something like full length, like a full length gown, and like something cool. So
makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm sure that'll look fire. That'll be an Instagram pic that'll get like 400 likes. Shout out to Erica out here in these streets. What?
We'll see. Sometimes my photos, I feel like the millennials, we don't get as many likes as like Gen Z. Like Gen Z, because everyone's on it, they're much more active. Like sometimes I post a photo, it'll get like 60 likes.
Yeah, but you post like once, whenever. Like I realized that once I started posting more, I just started getting more likes.
Oh, you found the secret.
No, literally, people were hitting me up like, what is this girl's handle, like social handle? And I was like, stop, leave Erica alone.
No one cares.
I promise you, at least 3 males hit me up like, hey, yeah, what do you mean?
We're in the single digits here. 3 people.
No, but 3 people went out of their way to be like, who is she and what is her social? Because I want to follow her on the internet.
Oh, well, that's nice. I should probably go through and follow them back.
So imagine, no, don't do that. I told those scumbags, I said, leave Erica alone, okay? She is a very kind-hearted, wholesome person.
Thank you so much.
Or she was. I don't know.
Rude. Tell me about your week. You keep on diverting.
Yeah, it's just a lot of change this week. Yeah.
Why don't you talk about it?
Because I don't want to talk about it. I don't like talking about my business on the internet. But
so you asked me about mine, but you won't share.
What do you mean? That wasn't real business. Okay, this week what did I do? I worked a ton. I shot a music video last Sunday. So that was the day after we shot the first episode. So for my homie Pavy's song Problematic, directed the video, also like worked on some of the music on the album. So make sure you go get that, download that iTunes, SoundCloud, Caught a Wave. Yeah, do that. So I shot the music video, pretty much edited that in about 4 days. Edited the last episode of Disagree to Agree, and also edited about 15 Hoops N Brews clips.
Wow.
Yeah, and also posted everything to the internet and still went to work. So that was my week. It was a very long week. I haven't had a chance to do anything this week. Anything. I haven't even showered. I've had about brushed your teeth. I shower. No, get out of here. I shower like twice a day. I gotta stay fresh for the ladies. So don't play me like that. I gotta stay fresh for the ladies. So yes, I shower frequently, because there's nothing I hate more than when people come and hang around me and want to sit under me, and you can just tell, like, why didn't you shower? Does that make sense? Like, even you as a woman, like, I understand that men are probably a little bit stinky or whatever, but don't you ever just think sometimes when the dude comes over and he just smells terrible, you're just like, bro, why didn't you shower?
Hygiene is important.
No, I'm asking you that question. That's a real question. Like, have you ever thought, like, bro, why didn't you shower? Maybe not in that exact phrasing, but
I haven't had too many experiences where men haven't been fresh, thankfully. But there was one time I met up with a guy, but he was coming directly from something else. We met up somewhere, and he was not fresh. And I was like, well, I'm still friends with him. I guess it's natural. It happens sometimes. But yeah, like hygiene is great.
I feel like well then that kind of makes me sad then, because I feel like never mind. I guess I shouldn't be talking about this kind of stuff.
All right, so let's go into the subject for today,
but that matters though. First dates, though, right?
Okay.
I've been on plenty of first dates.
Yes.
Speaking of first dates, today's topic is first dates. Even though we spent 10 minutes rambling, whatever. This is why you're here. This is why you're here. And even there, right? I was like, yo, like I didn't, it's not real crazy when somebody comes over and they're not fresh. And she was like, well, I've never experienced it. See, disagree to agree. Like we don't agree on anything, so it's fine.
I'm not saying that I disagree. I'm just saying it hasn't happened.
I'm just saying it just never aligns for us. It just is like it never aligns. It's okay.
Let me read you sent me a tweet that someone had sent you.
Yes, go ahead.
So let me pull that
Shout
up
out to the homegirl.
Do you
her name is Alex. Okay. She follows. Well, she ain't really my homegirl because have I met her? I don't know if I've met her or whatever. I know her through the interwebs, and she is always supportive. So shout out to you. I appreciate you, Alex. You the best. So thank you for the support. I don't want to make it seem like I'm dissing you. I just literally can't remember if I met you in person or not. But that's just how it is when you know people through the internet, especially in LA. Like there's so many people that I know through the internet that I haven't met in person. But when I see them, and I'm just like, oh, what's up? That's you.
Well, I'm going to read her question. She had a few.
Can you read her Twitter handle as well?
Yeah, it's at I think it's L, not an I, LM Alex Nicholson.
I think it's I am Alex.
Oh, yep, that would make a lot more sense. But yeah, so, potato, at I am Alex Nicholson. And she asked, is women proposing to men taboo? That was her first question.
That shit is weak. Don't do that to me. Don't make me tell you no in public. Don't do that to me.
Wait, what are your thoughts? Is it taboo? Women proposing to men.
I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it at all. I think that it is, number one, like, okay, look, it's a kind gesture. Yes, it's a kind gesture. I appreciate that you love me enough to feel that way.
Okay.
But I kind of feel like, I don't know. I just feel like as a man, like it would just literally blow my mind. I would be like, what? Get off the ground. Get up. Get off the ground. What are you doing? Like, stop this. We're in public. Don't do this to me. Right? Like, versus if I'm sure that's probably like the dream. It's like some dude is in a random crowd. They're just like, oh, will you marry me? But you're just like, yeah, I'll marry you. But don't drop down on one knee in front of me and propose to me. Like, just let me let you know when I'm ready.
Yeah.
Because I feel like every girl that I've ever dated has done a very good job of letting me know, like what are we? And it's like, what do you mean, what are we? Like, can we know each other for a little bit longer than 12 months? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people where I'm not about to get, number one, I don't want to get married at all. Number two, I'm definitely not trying to get married anytime soon.
Okay, well, if you weren't planning on getting married at all, the soon part wouldn't matter.
But look, I'll put it this way: I'm not trying to get married at all. But knowing life, I'm sure.
You're saying never say never.
I'm saying never say never. So if I want randomly get married one day, then you be like, ooh, don't leave me alone.
You're covering all of your bases.
It's not that I'm covering all of my bases. I'm just saying I really don't want to get married, but if it happens, I don't have any plans on doing it anytime soon. Number one, I need to at least be with you for a year. I need to at least live with you for 2 years, and then I'll might propose to you. Because when you live with people, that's when you really kind of get to see the dynamic of how situations go. So it's not even like a negative or a positive thing, but just like you have to spend forever with that person.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people understand marriage is supposed to be forever, and forever is a mighty long time.
That is true. I think so. There's a terrible rom-com that came out around like 2011, 2012. It's called He's Just Not That Into You. Did you ever see it? It's cheesy.
Yeah,
it's very cheesy, but there was a great takeaway from that movie. It has like a cast of like all A-listers, but the movie itself is like not good.
Is that the one with Jay Baruchel? No, that's the...
No, it has like Scarlett Johansson and Bradley Cooper's in it, and like all of these like great people. But the takeaway...
Not into you. Go ahead.
There's a takeaway line that is, and this is something I live by. If a guy likes you, he'll make it happen. And I think no, it's true. If he's into you, there won't be gray area. Like, he'll make it clear that he's into you. And I think with a proposal, if a guy wants to marry you, he will propose. And I don't think, I do think it's kind of taboo if a woman proposes. But that's coming from a woman who is very progressive and open-minded. I still think that if a guy wants to marry you, he will ask you, and there shouldn't be a need. There shouldn't be a need to ask.
So chill out. That's the moral of the story. Just relax. Like, stand up. Like, this is the one situation where I don't need you kneeling. Like, no, this is like literally like not like, and that was actually not even. Actually, it sounded way worse than I actually meant it. That was actually like a shot at the NFL, but it's fine.
Of course, you would.
It's fine.
Take that direction.
It sounded worse than what I meant it though. I meant that as like another thing, but it's okay. Sorry, moms who might be watching this.
All right, her other question, well, more of like a statement or general inquiry, is first date guidelines. And that is our subject for today.
I'll let you handle the first date guidelines because, I'm just gonna let you tackle.
Where do we begin? Where do we begin?
You tell me. Where do you begin when you're being courted? Where does that begin for you?
What year is it being courted?
I mean, look, I'm trying to not be as me as I can. Does that make sense? You're making this very hard for me, Erica.
Well, I will say that personally, again, to each their own. Every person's different, but personally, I like to be pursued by a man and to be asked out. I don't like asking guys out, personally.
Okay. I mean, I would assume.
And that goes along with if a guy is into you, he'll make it happen. I think if someone likes me, like, he'll reach out and initiate. And I also like men who are more bold and forward and who will take that initiative. And I think that's very telling of probably his confidence and who he is, and that's something that I appreciate. So I like when a guy asks me out, but I will say sometimes men are cowards and you do have to show a little bit of interest. Maybe not ask them out, but like make it, just like actually like flirt a little and make it seem like you're into them.
Why we gotta be cowards? Some men,
like,
do you know how
men can be cowards?
No,
they can
do you understand? Like, see, this is the problem, right? Do you understand how hard it is as a man to just like, you gotta like throw yourself out there, right? You're not used to being rejected all day long. All we do is get rejected all day long. Like, legit, it just happens. Like, cause we just always making moves. Like, we always, like, you just gotta put up shots. Right, I tweeted it the other day. I tweeted it last night. Like, I've been putting up so many shots lately, I don't even care if I get curved anymore. Like, I legit don't care if I get curved. I done got curved like a couple times.
I don't even know what that means. Like, do I have to go Urban Dictionary this right now?
Urban Dictionary curve. Come on, Erica.
No, I don't want to. Just tell me what does this mean.
No, for the culture, it matters because on first dates, sometimes you can get curved. For the culture, it matters. Come on, let's Google this. I'm gonna put the definition, the Urban Dictionary definition at the top.
Like, I can assume what it means, but fine, I'll pull it up.
You gotta look that up.
Urban Dictionary.
We're not gonna let this slide.
Something about being slighted, like rejected. Okay.
Yeah, look that up.
Curved.
Yep.
Why do I feel like gross things are gonna come up? Okay. Curvin means the same thing, except it means your, and they use the wrong form of your, by the way.
Oh my God, Erica, it's the Urban Dictionary. Like, come on.
This is the top definition. It doesn't even use the right your.
Oh my God.
Curvin means the same thing, except it means you're doing the rejecting or the standing up of someone.
Like,
example A. So what happened with you and her on V-Day? B. She curved me. A, you got curved? Sadly, yes. I showed up and she didn't. She stood me up.
Exactly. First dates, getting curved. Like, come on. You gotta, like, I understand that, you know, we talked about this. You from the bubble of Minnesota. I'm sorry if you from Minnesota.
I've lived here for 6 years.
I'm sorry if you from Minnesota and you watching this and you are disappointed, okay?
I've lived here for a long time.
But you gotta pick, this is why the kid's not following you on the internet. You gotta be in the know.
What do you mean? I have more followers than you do.
No, you're not really. Not really. Like across everything that I do, not really.
Okay,
like
well,
not really.
It's not like I'm doing the math, crunching the numbers.
But that's not the
like
point,
I care
though.
that much.
But that's not the point. The point is, you sitting up here talking to me about how the kids don't want to follow you, but you don't even know what getting curved means.
I didn't say the kids don't want to follow me.
You did. You said they don't really like to engage with you. Like you'll.
No, I was making a general statement about Gen Z versus millennials.
Yeah, but they
and
not
activity on Instagram.
Because y'all not aligning because you don't know what getting curved means.
All right,
like you gotta be up on the kid vernacular. You know what I'm saying? You don't know it, like, for real.
All right, so what you're trying to say is...
Do you know what sauce is? Like, ooh, she got the sauce? You know what that means?
Like, I don't know. I hate when you use the word swag, which you've used
And do you understand why? Why? It's short for swagger. What's wrong with swag?
I don't like it.
Why?
It automatically
that's
says
That's because you have no swag. Okay, that's a joke, but I don't
even want to be used in the same sentence as swag.
Like, yeah, why not? Like,
because it sounds like
it's like saying,
it's
like saying I don't want to be like if some guy was like, oh, she's fly. Like, is there something wrong with being like, oh, she's fly?
Fly is more like retro. It's like, oh, she's fly.
It's
kind of like throwing it back.
This is where the disconnect comes. So on first dates, this kind of stuff can happen.
All right, well,
and then you just like, damn, bro, I just wasted $60.
Okay, well, $60.
Yeah, because that's
that's your max budget.
Yeah. Hell yeah, I don't know you yet. Hell no, I don't know you yet. Like if we cool it up, then like I'll actually take you somewhere and spend some money. But no, I don't know you yet.
Okay,
like that's an investment. Like
so, you're not even buying her a drink with dinner.
It's not even that. I'll put it this way. I'll put it this way, right? If the average minimum wage in America is what, $8 an hour, $10 an hour, and I take you on a $60 date, that's a lot of hours of work.
Yeah, but we're talking about Los Angeles.
It could be if the average income is $10, and I'm sorry, the minimum wage in LA is I think like 10 or 10.25.
How are we going?
And that's 8 hours. No, but this is what I'm saying. But this is what I'm saying. That's 6 hours of work. That's almost a full day of work to take you out to have a meal. So if I take you out to have a meal, I'm gonna make sure I enjoy that meal as well as the person sitting across from me in that meal.
So you take women? You take women out to dinner on the first date? Because most guys just take you out for a drink.
It depends on the drink. It depends on the woman.
And then if it goes well, then
I've spent like $60 on drinks before, just like on like a first meetup. So like it's not like, oh, I have a hard cap or whatever. That's not the point.
So you try to get women drunk.
No,
so you spend $60.
Come on, G. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that when I'm on a first date, and I put that in the context of how much work, how much actual physical labor was worth that amount of money, I'm weighing that verse if my experience on that date is going to be worth that money. And I'm sorry.
Physical labor? No, are you doing construction
It doesn't matter. I still have to get up. I have to use my gas. I have to go to work. I have to be there. I have to do whatever it is that I have to do when I'm working.
Thinking about physical labor.
It matters. Look, are you upset at me because I'm just being pragmatic? Like, it's the truth. Like, why would I want to waste my money? I take you out on the first date and it's terrible. I'm like, man, I really just wasted how much money I spent. Even if it's $30 and we just went to go get tacos and the tacos are great, and the whole time we just sitting there and I'm just like, yeah, this ain't vibe. And I'm thinking, damn, I wasted my $15 because her tacos probably cost $15. So
I'm just picturing you and some poor girl at like a taco truck, and you'd be like, I spent $5.
That's not the point. That's not the point.
Some carnitas.
That's not the point.
And it was not worth the investment.
I mean, it's the truth. Like, it's the truth.
So
like
boring.
That's what goes through my mind. It's like, yo, like, this is my money. My money matters to me. It does. It matters to me. So I'm not just trying to waste it. The same way, if I'm a woman, your time probably matters to you. So you're not trying to waste it either. So let's both not waste each other's time and money, and let's figure it out. Which is usually why I'll try to do drinks. But like sometimes it's just like getting drinks is always it's circumstantial. Like you have to make that happen versus like just going out to like grab like a quick lunch or just like going out to like.
You're going to lunch dates?
Like what? Like what's wrong?
Like
what's
a lunch
wrong
date?
with that? What's wrong with that?
Like first date, you're like, hey, you want to do lunch?
Why can't I take you to lunch? What's wrong with me taking you to lunch for a first date?
I don't know. It says to me automatically friend zone.
It's like, who do you think you are? That's a real question. Like, I just really want to know, like, who do y'all think y'all are? Like what, if you have a good time on the date, does it matter if it's happened during lunch, if it happened at night, if it happened in the morning? Like, does it matter if it was a good date? If I make my intentions known that this is a date and we're going to go out and we're going to have a good time, good conversation, a good meal, and we're going to enjoy each other. Does it matter when I take you out?
Okay,
does it matter how much money I spend on you? Does it matter where we go, or does it matter about the experience?
Sure. Go for it. So going back to initially, we're talking about who asks who out. Have you been asked out by women? Do you like that? Do you think, is that taboo for a girl to ask you out?
I've been asked about a few women, or at least like, yo, like there have been a few women that make their intentions known, and then it's like, all right, once I know your intentions, it's like, all right, cool. I'm not gonna be a coward and not be like, hey, you want to hang out or whatever. But
you said coward with a T, but go on. A coward.
You are like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you act like an 80-year-old lady still. Like, you don't eat, like, this is what I'm saying, Erica. You gotta come here with the millennials. You're not even 30 yet. Like, join us. We not old yet. We still young. We not even 30 yet. Join us.
So anyway, you were saying
coward. I don't want to be a coward. Was that great? But the point is, yes, sometimes I have been asked out. I've been even taken out. I've even been like just randomly like asked to go out with drinks with just like hey, I'm like, hey, whatever, let's link up, whatever. Or they're like, hey, where you at? Like, come here. And then I've even had women be like, yo, I'll buy you some drinks. I'm like, well, why are you buying me drinks? You don't need to buy me drinks. It's like, oh, well, I'll buy you drinks. So no, I'm not gonna turn down a free drink, because most likely, like I said, in the cost, like, I'm probably gonna spend way more money on her than she is me. So I'm not upset at that. I never get upset at women when they like, great, thank you. You saved me some work, because usually I'm sitting there like nervous as fuck, like,
But have you ever
I don't really know if this is the right kind of thing.
But have you ever been asked out by a girl who you weren't interested in?
Yeah.
And then do you go out anyway out of courtesy? No,
and then I administer the curve, because I'm not trying to pay that money. Like, no, I'm not gonna waste my money. I'm not gonna waste. Number one, I work a lot, so my time is extremely valuable.
Okay, well, let's stop talking about money. And what I'm trying to say is, so you don't go out with them if they're not.
You asked me a question. My answer is, when a girl that I'm not attracted to asks me out or lets me know she's interested, I have to weigh that in my mind. Like, number one, do I want to take the 3 to 4 hours that it's going to take to spend with her when I can be like working or getting stuff done? Because I get shit done. Like, that's what I do. I have a lot of stuff that I got to get done. So if I'm taking you out, not only am I taking money away from myself by taking you out, but I'm taking valuable time that I can be spending doing other productive things. So it matters. So yeah, if I'm not attracted to you, I'm not gonna waste your time, because if I'm not attracted to you, I'm not trying to even have sex with you. So we can be cool, we can be friends. Like, if we ever out and I see you with a group of people, I'm gonna say what's up. But like, other than that, no, I'm not gonna waste your time. I don't have any belief in wasting anybody's time. My time is way too valuable, so I don't want you to waste my time, because I'm not gonna waste your time. I don't stand girls up. I don't tell them to come over and then be like, oh, I got shit to do. Like, that shit is weak. It's weak as fuck. And if dudes are doing that, then yeah, they might be cowards, but I don't do that, because I know that my time is valuable, and so is my money. And my time is my money, and my money is my time. So don't waste either of them, and we'll be cool.
And maybe their time is valuable too.
No, look, that's my side of it. I feel the same way. So if a girl curves me and don't want to go out, great, you saved me some money. Thank you, I appreciate it, because you probably wouldn't have liked me anyway. You would have just went for like, I know plenty of women that are like, yeah, I just go out on dates because I just get free meals. It's like, what? Are you serious? Like, yeah, I mean, if I can get free meals, a couple drinks, like, why not? I'll do it. But I'm not gonna do that. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Let me know ahead of time. Let me know what it is, so that way I can just be like, I'm cool. I appreciate it. I appreciate your honesty. Thank you.
All right, so going back to Alex's question, first date guidelines. So what are first date guidelines for you?
How did you meet her? Or how did I meet this person? How am I meeting her?
I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. No, it is, but that's what I'm asking you to shape the conversation for her, because
let's say she's
here.
Basically a stranger. Let's
Okay.
say it's basically a stranger.
How do you define basically a stranger, though?
Like you met on an app or something like that, or you met her at a bar and then you're taking her out on a first date, like someone who you don't know.
Okay, well, if I met her at a bar, then that's cool. If I know her through like mutual friends or like some friend or whatever, and I'm like, yo, who's your friend? And they're like, this is my friend, and I hit my friend up, then I'll hit your friend up. Like, I'm not shy about that, whatever. You gotta put up shots. Like, if you don't, like LA, in Los Angeles, you have to put up shots. Like, if you don't go out and date, then you'll just be sitting at home all day long. And if you're a girl, probably with your cat. But that's not you, because you living though. See, you living. Not every woman at home watching this right now on their laptop is living like that. So you got to put up shots. Even if you're in your small town, put up shots. Ask Becky out that you went to high school with that you think might be a little bit out of your league. Just have a confidence.
Becky?
Just have a confidence to be like, hey Becky, what's up? Like, I think you're very beautiful. Let's go out on a date. Let me take you out for drinks. You spend $60 on Becky in the middle of Bumblefuck, wherever you are. I guarantee you she will enjoy that. Tanya, whatever, Becky, Tanya, Stephanie, like Philomena, her name could be whatever, Deborah, Barbara. I mean, yeah, but this is the truth. So I would say this: if I met her at a bar, then number one, like we already know how each other looks, so I don't have to be unexpectedly surprised when I meet you, and vice versa, right?
Okay.
I kind of am who I am, just like not really that tall, but not really that small. Skinny as fuck, and that's just who I am. And you can see my face. Whether you think it's attractive or not is up to you. So I come as advertised, and I'm gonna stay as advertised unless I get fat, which I'm gonna, I'm say a prayer for that one and knock on wood a little bit for that one. But so that means I've seen her already, so I know what to expect, right? And I know what kind of style she'll be wearing, like, so that way I can kind of balance it out. Versus, because sometimes you'll take a girl out and be way overdressed than what she is for like where you going. Does it make sense?
Okay.
Like, I've been on plenty of dates where girls like just showed up in like Vans and jeans with like a random t-shirt on. Like, it's cool. It's cool. But if I see you in the club and you got that swag, I know when I take you out, you're gonna probably have some kind of similar swag or a more chill version of that. Versus if I meet you in the club and you in like pumps and stilettos, like, I'm sure if I take you out somewhere, you gonna show up looking like, okay, all right, so I gotta put on the boots. Like, I gotta dress it up a little bit. So you should always, if you can, pick her up. If not, then let her Uber. And honestly, it really depends. And actually, now that Uber is so convenient, I don't even necessarily know, how do you feel? Like, do you want a guy to pick you up when you go out on a date, or would you rather just meet him there?
If he's a complete stranger, I'd prefer to meet him there.
But if you met him at like a bar?
I haven't met too many men at bars.
What?
That I've...
I was about to say, what? Like,
no,
what?
I mean, no. Like, if I know the guy and I've met him before and I know he's not going to murder me, then like, sure, he could pick me up. That's cool. But if he's an actual stranger, then I feel like he could potentially murder me, and I would prefer to meet him there. Okay, see, that's the pressure. The pressure of being murdered on a first date is something that I don't have to deal with. So shout out to every woman out there who has to deal with that. And if you're a scumbag, stop being a goddamn scumbag. So with that being said, I usually prefer to just meet you there. Like, legitimately, I'll just meet you there. It's fine. And like, whether you get there on your own or whether you get there with me, if you want to leave with me, you will leave with me. Like, you will find a way. Like, it's not like rocket science. So all you dudes out there that like very hesitant, just be yourself. And if she like you enough, like, you'll figure it out. Versus like worrying about it and going extra. Because I will admit, especially with like how easy it is to transport yourself places. Unless you live in a small town, then I feel you. Go pick her up. If you live in a town with less than 500,000 people, go pick her up. If you live in a big city with over 1 million people, let her decide. I can pick you up if you want, or you can meet me there. Give her the option. But if you live in a small town, just offer to pick her up. And if she doesn't want you to pick her up, she'll just be like, nah, I'll meet you there, and that's perfect. I also have my location shared on my phone with my best friend. Because I'm like, if I ever get murdered or abducted, he knows where I am. It's my best friend Tanner. I did that before a first date, actually. So there was the guy, this is how it happened. So I obviously haven't shared this story, but so I went on a first date, and it was a guy that I met through an app. And he seemed cool. He was very handsome. And this was when I was first getting back into the dating scene. So I was, like fairly freshly out of a relationship, and my cousin, Paige, is like my best friend, and she was like, you need to stop being a chicken shit and like actually commit to something. Have I told you this? Okay, well.
I haven't had these guys. I've seen you like 4 times in the past year.
All right, so she was like, stop backing out of dates, because I was, how am I supposed to meet someone? I work in an industry of women and gay men. I work in a modeling agency. Mm-hmm. So like, how am I going to meet anyone? So I'm on dating apps. I don't think it's taboo anymore.
You look too good to be on dating apps. If you're a beautiful woman, get off dating apps and go outside. And when some guy randomly hits on you, just be open for once. Like,
I go outside.
Get off dating apps, man. I have sworn away dating apps.
I have no problem with dating apps. That's another subject for another podcast. So I don't have.
We can do that one as the next one.
Go ahead. So this guy's really very tall, handsome, looks like Aladdin, just my type. So he was like, hey, we texted beforehand. He's like, what's your address? And I was like, oh, well, I'll meet you there. He's like, no, I'd really like to pick you up. And I was like, this is my first date in like forever. I was like, I really would prefer to meet you there. Like, I don't let strangers pick me up. And then he was like, I'd really, really like to pick you up on my motorcycle. And at that point I was like, okay. So then I agreed, but then I got scared. I was like, I could die. So I shared my location with my friend Tanner, just like in the event, that I'm whisked away somewhere, like this is where I am, this is where you'll find my body. So he picks me up on his motorcycle. His name is Matan. Matan. I didn't know.
Why are you putting that man's name on the internet?
Who cares? It's his first name.
Okay.
So then he texts me, he's like, I'm here. I go meet him outside. He's standing by his motorcycle with like an extra helmet. And I go up to him, I was like, hey, I'm Erica. He literally goes in for the kiss. And I was like, I didn't let him kiss me. I was like, I don't even know how to pronounce your name. He's like, it's Madame. Then he like puts on a helmet for me. We go off on his motorcycle, and it was the most terrifying experience of my life. Truly. I truly have never thought more in a moment like, I'm gonna die. This is how I go. Because he was weaving in and out of cars. Just like, my legs were sore for like 3 days because I was like clenched. Like, I seriously was like, he's gonna knock off one of my kneecaps. Like, my leg is gonna go. Anyway, I mean, the date was horrible. The first question I asked him was like, well, he leaned in, we go and we sit down for a drink, and he's like, okay, how about let's play a game? I'm like, okay, sure. It's like, we get to ask each other whatever question we want, and the other person has to answer honestly and look into each other's eyes. Everything about him was comedically seductive. Like, it was just over the top, And I was like, cool, where are you from? He's like, Israel. I was like, okay, cool. I was like, what do you do in Israel? I was a sniper. He was a sniper.
Okay. What's wrong with the soldiers? He was holding his country down.
Yes. Okay. So in Israel, you have to serve for 3 years.
So why you?
It's mandatory. But you don't just come out and say it like that. Like, I'm a sniper. I was a sniper.
Why?
Because no, you could say like, hey, yeah, like I was in the army, like I had to serve.
Why?
You don't, because I don't want to like be picturing like, oh, you've murdered many people. Like, and now I just immediately picture him like shooting people up, like sniping people. Like, that's not...
Why your mind going straight to the gutter? Like...
My mind isn't going straight to the gutter. He said he's a sniper.
I mean, I feel you, but like, I kind of look... I mean, I understand it, but I also look at armed forces a little bit differently. Like, I mean, that was a part of your job.
Well, yeah, but you don't have to flat out say it like that.
To
like,
some women, they're probably like, oh my God, this is amazing.
I'm not one of those women.
Exactly. So
yeah,
the date
didn't go well.
Yeah.
We did not go out again. I don't know where we're going with that.
No, but I mean.
But what I'm trying to say is I shared my location.
So what are 3 lessons learned from that?
Lessons learned. Don't let men pick you up on a first date. Unless you know them. Don't let strangers pick you up on a first date.
All right. Well.
I'm shocked that I'm still here. I'm thankful. I made it. We could have easily wiped out. He was going 60 miles an hour down La Brea. I'm not joking you.
Okay, he's riding on a motorcycle.
No, it was a terrifying experience.
How do you know he's going 60? You could see it through your helmet?
Yes, I could. I was just gripped, and it was bad.
Yeah, I don't mess with motorcycles because when I was a kid, I was in the ER one day and I saw these dudes come in and they basically like a biker gang and they all wiped out. And when they wiped out, they literally all fell and slid blocks. So they all had 2nd and 3rd degree burns. I was like, I'm cool on getting on motorcycles. I'll just stick to the vehicles.
I don't know. Well,
don't pick a girl up on a motorcycle, B. That's you wild.
Especially not on a first date. That's not something you do.
I mean, well, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's impossible to say.
It depends on the person, I guess. But I
mean, some women probably think that the way you said he was cheesy, romantic. They probably think that that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing.
I think most women would have laughed. I wanted to laugh multiple times throughout the day. It was just over the top. I didn't even know him. And the first day was where are you from? I literally know nothing about you.
Well, I mean, I feel him. I don't feel him for going in for the kiss. He was wilding, but...
Right?
I mean, yeah.
I didn't even know his name.
Knowing him and knowing you also is don't do that.
Yeah, so...
If I didn't know you and a girl told me that and she told me that she let him kiss them, I wouldn't be surprised.
Before, not even at the end of the date, the beginning.
Yeah, but you still wild. Don't go in for the kiss on the first time you get a hug, B. Was he trying to kiss your cheek or you?
No. He was going for the lips. He was going for it. That was the shocking to me. Never experienced that in my life.
LA, man. LA, crazy. But yeah, I think the 3 biggest guidelines we need to.
Okay, what are the 3? What are the 3 guidelines?
The 3 guidelines for me as a man is number 1, let her figure out her transportation.
I feel like that's just a minor point.
No, it's not. It's a major point because it sets the tone for the whole date. Because chivalrous will tell you that you should go and pick her up, right? Or you're not being chivalrous by picking her up, but you're just telling me that you think that's kind of weird. So
unless you know them.
Yeah, true. But it also depends on how well you know them. Did you just see them at a party, know them, or do you know them?
Okay.
Because if I just met you at one of my friends' party, we know the same people and we know each other, but do we really know each other? So would you still let me pick you up, or would you want to meet me there?
I think if you have mutual friends, there's already a trust established there. We know the same people. That's not,
Yeah, I agree.
There's some accountability versus.
I agree. Shout out to all my homegirls that be, that help a brother out. You guys are the best. I love y'all. Thank y'all for always holding me down. All y'all are amazing. But guidelines. Number 1.
So
figure out transportation. Number 2. Ask yourself before you go on this date if you really like her. And I mean that. Ask yourself, is this really something that's gonna be worth your time and worth your effort and worth your money and worth her time and worth her effort and worth her money? Because if she gotta travel there on her own, she gotta pay money to get there too. It matters. It matters. It matters. Especially if you're not really that attracted to her. Now, if you are attracted to her and you like her, then Godspeed, do your thing, do your thing, player. But if you don't really like her that much and you feel like you're just gonna waste your money, don't go there and do it. Because I done have plenty of homies that have been like, man, I took this chick out, and something told me before we went out that it was just gonna be a waste of my time and my money. And when I went out, we didn't click at all. It was a terrible date. I'm thinking, well, if you thought that at first, why would you still take her out?
Okay.
But usually their primal instincts tend to take over. So they only are thinking, like I said, wiener versus brain. They're only thinking with their wiener instead of their brain. Me, I like to think with my brain. I do. I like to think with my brain. You gotta be pragmatic. He's still there. He's still checking in, but I gotta think with my brain.
Okay.
So
what's tip number 3?
And tip number 3 is once you get on the date, just be honest. if I am probably one of the, according to people, off-putting or whatever, I don't care. I literally don't give a fuck. Like, I don't. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I don't care if you like me, if you don't. So when I meet you, I'm not gonna be some fake version of myself. I'm gonna be me, so that way you know exactly what you are getting into, and you can consciously make that decision on your own. Because if you want to deal with me, especially if I'm taking you on a date, that means that I actually have to like really want to invest my time and self to you. Then like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with you, because I don't want you to be thinking like, oh, he's just whatever. Like, nah, this is who I am. And if you hang around me all the time, this is gonna be who I am. So you either like it or you don't. And if you don't, that's fine. There are more fish in the sea. I got a fishing rod. More fish in the sea, I'll go fishing. Like, but other than that, like, you just be yourself. Don't try to be who you think she thinks you are, or who you are on the internet, or any of that. Just be yourself, because that's the person that she or he is gonna have to deal with on a constant basis. And you don't want to get to that 3-month phase or that 6-month phase where you thought you knew that person, and then you're like, man, I didn't really know them, and now you're in a whole ass relationship. Don't do that to yourself. Be yourself from the start. And if you sound
like Genie.
No, I'm serious. Be yourself from the start. Be yourself from the start. And if you're just trying to get laid, then make those intentions known too. Like, sometimes, like, literally make them intentions known. That's my main thing. Make your intentions known. Save everybody the time, including yourself, and you'll be all right. Because there's been plenty of opportunities where I've just made my intentions known, and they've been like, all right, well, I'm not upset at that. That's kind of my intention too. Well, great. Now we align. You know, that we're one, so we cool. And then there's no expectations, because that's what ruins a lot of first dates too.
That's true.
You set your expectations too high. And everybody on the internet is not how they are in real life, so like, get over that. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Except for if they look different. If they look different, then they assholes because they've been cheating on the internet. Don't do that. I'm sure you can see I'm ugly all over the internet. So when you see me in real life, you're like, damn, he ugly. Like, you saw me on the internet.
Clearly,
but if I see you on it,
for compliments.
But if I'm not fishing for compliments. I'm not fishing for compliments. But if you know how you look, and you've been Facetune and everything, and you've been like stretching stuff out and pushing stuff in and all of that, and I show up and you don't look like that, then you wildin'. Like, that's not fair to me. Because if I showed up with looking completely different than how I look, you would be like, what the fuck? Like, who is this person?
I think generally most guys look better in person than they do on their profiles.
Well, good.
I think most women look worse, unfortunately. But that's because a woman, like, guys, like, I feel like they most of the time, like, don't really know what they're doing. They don't know. Women, we know our angles. We do edit sometimes. Some women more than others, but we know how to work the camera. We know, like, okay, can you like crouch a little lower? Okay, and then chin down, great. You know, like, we know what we're doing. But men are just like they could literally just find a photo of them like lurking in the background. They like crop it and they're like, this is me.
Yeah, because we don't take the time. We don't need to present we're not taking the time to present ourselves.
Yeah. Because
we spend most of the time doing it. That's the other thing. Like, we spend most of the time doing recording. So like, does it really matter how we look? Like, you have to deal with us anyways. Like, you don't have to deal, like, if I'm ugly, you're gonna have to deal with me because I'm ugly anyway. So it doesn't matter. Here's this shitty picture of me at Craig's party standing in the background looking stupid with this beer in my hand. That's how I look in real life. If you like me, then great. Amazing.
Not fishing at all.
No, I'm not talking about me though. That's hypothetical. Like, seriously. Like, think about how many ugly dudes have beautiful wives. You think they was like on Instagram, like trying to take pictures and make themselves look great? They're like, nah, I'm fat and I'm ugly, like, and I'm charismatic. I'll treat you nice, rub your feet, like, let's be together. And then sometimes it works. All it takes is a little bit of luck. Literally, you one good night away from being with the person of your dreams, male or female.
Are you gonna ask me my first date guidelines? Because this actually ties into.
Why do you say I'm saying?
This ties into one of them, which one of them is ask questions.
Okay.
Which you didn't do. I mean, you should have like kicked it off to me and been like, oh, what about you? See, this is one of my guidelines.
Look.
Is ask questions.
Okay.
Because no one likes going on a first date and just hearing, like I can't tell you like how many dates I've been on, I just like hear all about the guy and he just talks about himself the whole time. But I think I'm pretty good at asking people questions and getting to know them because I'm like curious and I obviously want to know about this person, but I think some people aren't as good at reciprocating those things. So if I ask you like, where are you from? What do you do? Like, tell me about yourself. I would expect that they reciprocate that and bring something. So I think like asking questions is important, not just talking about yourself the whole time.
Well, I'm sorry, I was talking about my guidelines and myself, and I didn't ask you that question.
It's okay, apology accepted, but honestly, I hope you learn from this.
But honestly, when I'm on first dates, I usually will tell a girl, like, what do you want to know? Ask me.
But then you're asking her to ask you questions instead of asking her about herself.
No, listen, because look, obviously, like you said, you didn't even know where that dude was from, right? So if I give you the opportunity from the onstart to be like, ask me what you want to ask me, I can take those same questions. So if you're like, all right, well, where are you? I don't even know where you're from. Where are you from? Then that's when I tell you where I'm from and I ask you about where you're from, who you grew up, how you grew up, did you like it, that kind of stuff. If I ask you like, hey, where are you from? Like, okay, great. Like, does that make sense?
I will say that if your first question to a girl is, what do you want to know? Ask me anything. You're already coming across as a little self-absorbed.
No, not really, because
I disagree.
Okay, well,
then why wouldn't you just like ask me about me?
Because the questions are always different. The questions are always different. The questions are always different. And like I said, I'm the one that's like, hey, Erica, let's go out on a date. And you're the one that's like, all right, whether you want to or not, all right, maybe I might go. We get on the date. You don't know anything about me. So I'm going to like allow you the opportunity to ask me whatever you want to ask me. So that way, whatever it was on your mind, you can get it off of your mind, and then we can like talk about you. I don't even really like talking. Like, I just sit there and drink and smile. And girls are like, why are you not, like, are you gonna say something? Like, no, I'm listening to you talk. But I want you to feel comfortable enough to know that you can ask me whatever and I'll be open with you about it instead of like lying to you or trying to manipulate you into like being like, oh, so how many friends? Like it's I don't know. I just got a different approach.
I just can't imagine going on a first date and being like to the guy, being like, hey, what do you want to know about me? Ask me all the questions you want.
No, what do you want to know? Like,
no, seriously. I'd be like, I would want to get to know him and be like, hey, like, tell me about yourself.
That's exactly what I'm telling you. But I'm saying you can be specific. No, but I'm saying you can be specific about what you want to know, not just like tell me about yourself. Like, that's such a random whatever. Like, I cannot tell you how many women I've been on dates where I'm just like, all right, well, tell me about yourself, and they're just like, oh, well, they tell me the same three things: where they work, where they live, and their favorite activity. Like, that doesn't really, there are a million people that work in the same industry, especially here, that depending on where you live in the same place. So it's not like you live in some exciting place that I have never lived or never been.
Well, these are the basics that are essential
but
to a relationship. I'm not going to do a long distance and date someone in the valley.
I mean,
that's important.
but also you should know if that person lives in the valley before you go out on a date with them.
Probably, but
I always ask, what part of town do you live in? I'm not asking you where. I said, what part of town? Because I need to know, because then that matters with the geolocation.
What's your address?
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna ask you what your address is. I don't really care about what your address is, because I don't really want to go and hang out at your house. I would much rather you come.
But yeah, here you are hanging out at my house.
Like, gee, you gotta chill. Like I told you, we don't deal with each other. So exactly, that's not the point. The point is that I'm giving you the opportunity. When I say that, it's not me trying to be condescending or being like a dickhead, but you're already gonna say, so tell me about yourself. So just start it off with specifically what you want to ask me about, and you'd be surprised how many different questions I've gotten from women when I'm just like all kind of stuff, like how many siblings do you have, or what. That's
like basic first date material.
It's not basic first date material because it matters, especially when you're dealing with women. You need to know if they have a bunch of brothers, or if they don't have any siblings.
I always cover that on a first date every time.
Yeah, but then it also matters in terms of like how they grew up. Right, when people, so if you ask me, yeah, I got X amount of brothers and I have sisters, but my sisters are through a half marriage, and then that turns into an entirely different conversation, because if they have something that's relatable to that, we talk about something that's relatable. If they don't, then I ask them about who their family is and what kind of people their family members are. Like, what was their favorite thing to do? Is like, it's not so much about being just like, ask me everything about whatever. Like, some girls, the first question is like, have you ever cheated? And it's like, and usually I'm just like, yeah, all right, this is how you want to start this off, but yeah, I have, and I'm being honest. But that's just me being honest. Like I said, be yourself, be honest, and everything else will fall into place. If you start lying and being somebody that you're not, it's not even that they'll notice it, but it'll come back to harm you in the future. And that goes for both sides, because if you're somebody that you're not, and that's how you are with that person, they'll see it, and then things get ugly, and that's not what you want. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I'm telling you, like I said in the last episode, if a man don't want to be with you or don't want to deal with you, stop trying to just let that man be what he want to be, so that way he not out here trying to run your life, because it happens. It happens. So you should be thanking him for getting the fuck away from you, so that way you can move on and meet somebody hopefully that's more healthier and more productive. Like, that's for everybody though, whether you're a man or a woman. You don't need her if she's toxic either. You don't need him if he's toxic. But it starts on the first date.
Okay, so my second piece is similar to yours, be yourself, but more about intentions, because I think that is important. I've had a lot of dates actually where we talk about all the taboo subjects like religion and politics, and like I think it's best to avoid talking about exes on a first date, but I truly don't mind talking about other like heavy subjects.
Can I say one super 5-second thing?
Yeah.
Never talk about religion and politics on the first date, you idiot. Save that for when you want to meet them again. Go ahead.
I don't mind talking about it. I really don't. Not in depth, but like generally it's fine. It's fine. I don't have an issue with it. Some of the best first dates I've been on, we talk about those things. You actually get to talk about something substantial. But don't talk about exes. And where was I going with this? Oh, intentions. I think it's important to know like what someone's looking for, whether it's a hookup or a relationship. And sometimes it even comes out like, do you want to get married someday? Do you want to have kids? If the answer is no with someone like you, it's kind of like, oh, well, I'm probably never going to go out again, because I do want those things.
Perfect. Great.
So I think
saved me some money and some time.
Right, but we're saving each other time, because I wouldn't waste my time with someone who's like just looking for a hookup. That's just not.
Who said? But just because I don't want to get married or have kids doesn't mean I'm just looking for a hookup.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that. But why would I? For me, if I know right off the bat that a guy doesn't want to get married and have kids, why would I be in a relationship with someone and throw away potentially years of my life with someone who doesn't want the same things I do? So it's just a done deal.
You just want a contract. That's really what that boils down to.
Because
even if a man was like, well, we can have kids, but I don't want to get married, you're like, nah, I need that contract player.
Yeah, I do, and I need a wedding.
Exactly. I need that contract
player. I need that.
I need that contract. You need that contract.
I do. So to each their own.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
And then 3. Gosh, I actually blanked on my third one, but I would say, I don't know, like I feel like it's just the usual things, like look nice, have good hygiene, and choose like a classy spot. And I think the setting reflects where the date will go. If you're going out super late at night, you're meeting up with someone and they're like, hey, you want to grab a drink at 10 p.m. Then it's like, okay, they're looking for a hookup. If they're taking you out to dinner, they're probably looking for like a relationship or they want to date. So I would say like the setting, the time, the place all affect probably what that person is looking for and are very telling. So like if you're looking for a relationship and the guy asks you to meet him at some bar like late at night, then he's not looking for what you're looking for.
I disagree with that. As someone who works a lot, especially in the afternoons, usually I get done editing around 10, so that's when I'm free. But also if I took you on a dinner, if I took you out at 7 And let's just say I've done this before. I took her out, had drinks. We had dinner, had drinks at dinner, and then after dinner we went out for more drinks after that. And when we went out for more drinks, instead of it being 7, because that's when we first went out, we went out for drinks at 10. Like, what's the difference? Really, what's the big difference? The difference is the experience. See, this is partially like the part of the thing that makes this conversation, this thing, so interesting. Because for me as a man, I'm just trying to provide a woman with a good experience when we go out, and it doesn't. But for me, it's not necessarily about me having to make sure that the place is a certain thing. Is because I've done first dates where I've taken a girl like a comedy club, and it's just like random, but you would never think that. And then after the comedy club, then we go grab a drink or something like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's not a classic typical date, or what you would normally expect from a typical date.
It doesn't have to be like a formula, like we have to go to a nice bar, we go to a nice restaurant. It could be a lot of different things, but I think like overall, like if you're meeting up with someone super late, that means, well, for starters, he might not have the time in his life for a relationship if he can't make the time to like meet you sooner. Like maybe he's just like a super busy person.
If it's a first date though, and we can round it out with this. Yeah.
Sorry, but look how cute my cat is.
Yeah, Nigel sleep with his head over his because of the lights.
I can't.
But all I'll say is this: if it's a first date and the dude, under the circumstance of a first date, specifically speaking about that, like I'm sorry, like if I'm single and I say let's meet up to grab drinks at this time, or if I was busy or I was working, that means that I was busy and I was working, and I could be doing other things than spending time with you. But I'm still choosing to spend this time with you.
I guess, I don't know. I think that a man on the first date, or even early on in the relationship, that's probably like the hardest he's going to try. Like if he's not really pursuing you and making time for you in the beginning, he's definitely not going to in the future. Like, sorry, but I kind of expect to be just pursued a little bit.
I think all of everything you're talking about comes after the first date, not before the first date.
Okay, well, maybe, so you're saying like the first date's like maybe like a throwaway. It's just like a tester to see, like, it's like a screening.
Yeah, that's exactly why I said I don't spend a lot of money on first dates, because it's,
and if you really like them, then
if I really like you, then I'll take you out a second time, or I'll take you to do an activity and we'll do something that's not just us like sitting at a restaurant looking at each other. You're like, oh, he's not just like a guy that just wants to sit around and not do anything. I like doing stuff. So we can do stuff like that too. Like, I know girls love going on hikes, especially in LA. Not a big fan of going on hikes, but I might hit a trail, or let's go do the Culver Stairs or something that's different, and then we can go grab some lunch and relax, and then you can go about your day, I can go about my day. But that's also the reason why I said earlier, grabbing lunch is not always a bad thing, especially if you're not just, if you're doing other things besides just sitting there and grabbing lunch. So if you're going to the beach, or if you're going on a hike, or if you're going to like on a trail or something, or you want to take a horseback ride or whatever the hell, like it doesn't. Have
you ever taken a horseback riding?
No, but I saw a commercial for that the other night on television. I was like,
yo, how you toss it out,
and I was like, yo, I really gotta meet a girl I want to take horseback riding. I actually tried to do it before, but the timing didn't align, because like after sunset they weren't doing it, or it was like the night trail, and I was like, I don't want to be on a horse at night. I've never been on a horse in my life. I've been on like a little donkey, but never like a horse, so I'm cool on that, chief. Exactly. So yeah, but that's all I got to say about first dates. Just be honest with your intentions. And give her the opportunity for you to be open, and just don't lie. There's no point. If she's gonna sleep with you, she's gonna sleep with you anyway. So let that go.
Of course. You have to take it that direction.
It's the truth, though. It's the truth. What's a relationship without sex? What's a couple relationship without sex? I don't really know.
I thought we weren't going to talk about this.
We weren't. You don't have to.
We set ground rules. We set ground rules for this podcast.
You don't want to talk about it. You don't want to talk about it. But
I said I don't want us to talk about that.
That wasn't even that was actually like a kind of just like a hypothetical question that I threw out. That wasn't even like a real question. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. The people who that statement for were meant to get that statement. But that's the truth. Without talking about sex.
All right, is there another facet of first dates we want to talk about, or how?
Nope, I think we've been doing this for an hour, so let's wrap this up.
How do we wrap it up? Okay.
Use condoms, people, by the way. That's not talking about sex, but I want to promote safe sex across the world. Use condoms, have safe sex, be responsible. It's your boy TPJ. Find me on Twitter, real TPJ, REELTPJ. It's a film joke. If you don't get it, you damn dummy. Be sure to follow this podcast, this show. Go check it out on Hoops N Brews, on youtube.com/Hoops N Brews. Shout out to everybody that watched, that left a comment. Shout out to everybody that sent me a text message. Shout out to all my old girlfriends who send me text messages about this show. I will do my best to not speak about you, but I'm sure you probably would prefer that I did. But yeah, that's it.
Wait. One quick follow-up question on that. So, remember the girl that you showed me the text messages with?
Yeah.
That I was like, oh wow, like you are a total scumbag.
I'm not a scumbag, but
did she reply?
I was communicated with.
And was she like, yeah, Erica gave like a voice to the voiceless?
Nah,
right?
it was more of like it was more playful than that. It was more playful. It was way more playful.
But did she agree? She's like, yeah, Erica, or
she didn't say anything to the tune. It was just a playful reply that I don't want to say.
Was that the same girl from Chicago who kicked you out of the car? Is that the same?
I don't know. Maybe
you talked about that in the first episode, and you're like, she kicked
Who
you
knows?
out. But did they get back and say like, yeah, Erica was so right?
She never said that you were right. No one has explicitly said, yo, Erica's right.
Feel free to leave in the comments.
Actually, I've had a bunch of people tell me that they disagree with you. Like a bunch of them, and like they've been women. They've been, and actually the funniest part is like they've mainly been like women and white dudes. Like, what? I don't agree with anything she said. And I'm like, great.
Gosh, what did I say? I'm trying to think of what would possibly be so controversial.
I don't know. One of my homies was just like, nah, she tripping. A few of everybody disagree with your stance on marriage, though. Everybody that at least hit me up. So I don't know.
I don't know the people who watch this apparently, but
I
think there should probably be some more people, who have similar views to me who watch this as well.
I mean,
we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, they're all like
your vibe
old
attracts
conservatives living in the middle of nowhere. That's who that.
I am not conservative for starters.
Okay, I'm not conservative, but most of the people that would agree with you on most of that stuff. Actually, I'll put it this way: most of the people that were upset about it are like my most like liberal friends, if that makes sense.
Okay, well, I'm like
including the women, but I'm sure that like the more like middle America and even the Midwest, they teach monogamy. It's like it's taught, like that's what you learn. So
right.
That's what that is. Like that's what that constituency is. Am I wrong? You shouldn't
call me conservative because I'm not.
When did I call you conservative?
You just did.
I didn't. I said they'll agree with you. I said conservatives will agree with you.
No, I'm not conservative. I voted for Hillary.
I didn't call you conservative
proudly.
Though. When did I say Erica is a conservative? I said they will agree with you.
I'm a progressive. You
are a progressive human being. You're a very progressive human being. I never said that you were conservative. I just said
I'm saying that for me personally, I want a monogamous relationship, and I don't think that's a crazy idea.
I don't either. I just don't think you need a contract. So go ahead, drop your socials.
So again, no, no one needs to follow me on social media at all. No, that's fine. They don't need to. Why would they have to follow me?
Well, I mean, it's kind of all over the first stuff, and it's in the video, so maybe you should just say it anyways, even if you aren't on.
There's no need. You can find me if you want to find me. If not, then that's totally fine.
You're so petty. You're so petty.
But thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate it.
All right. And the word of the day is curve, since apparently Erica don't know what that means, but.